Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Road to Kharkov. Our heroes today are going to be RNG Icemanjoker, playing as the US forces in the yellow. And his opponent is going to be Mr. Itaperuna, playing as the OKW forces in the pink or purple trunks, depending your preference. So, right off the bat, we see Mr. Itaperuna going for the Volks Grenadiers, 2 at a time. Icemanjoker getting himself rifles as well, 2 at a time. Nothing really out of the ordinary here, nothing special, so we'll see how it progresses. As the game goes on, though, I do have to apologize for not getting a game out yesterday. I didn't have the time. It was a long day, and at the end of the day, it was too late. I just couldn't get a game done. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to, but yeah, it was just not possible. But hopefully, this recording goes through without any issues. I can upload it without the internet shitting on itself, and you'll be watching the video. So there you go. So let's see what else has been going on. Itaperuna not getting anything so far after the 2 Volks. Oh, going for the 3rd Volks. Okay, never mind. And Icemanjoker getting himself 3 rifles. So yeah, 3 on 3 pretty much. Storm Pyos being the, I suppose the key there. If you can get them in a right engagement, they can quickly swing it in the favor of the OKW. Otherwise, the rifles pretty much win all the engagements. Until something else, you know, goes in and switch it over. But we see that Itaperuna is not going to be consolidating his forces. He's spreading out all over the place and sending the Storm Pyos over to the right-hand side to capture the victory point, where the rear echelon squad is capturing the munitions right next to it. Still there. The Storm Pyos should still win that engagement, but we'll see. Left-hand side victory point, we see the Volks Grenadiers laying down a sandbag, managing to lay down in the... or well, not in the fire, but whilst taking fire. They take a little bit of damage, but so far they're quite okay, managing to keep capturing the point. They're not returning fire as they're not in range of the house there. The other Volks Grenadier squad is the one taking the brunt of the damage. They are taking cover by that hay cart. And the 2nd Volks Grenadier squad, having captured the point, moves back. Behind it, we have the 3rd Volks Grenadier squad trying to defend against the approaching rifles as they do go for the cutoff point, managing to take the cutoff point and disconnect the munitions and the fuel from Itaperuna's base. Rifle squad does take quite a beating there in that engagement as it was left out in the open and the Volks were in cover. And the other 2 Volksgren squad moves up. Storm Pyos closing the distance, getting on top of the rifles, forcing the retreat down to 3 men. They're going to make it out of there just fine. 2nd Rifle squad popping itself back in the house as it has lost one of its members. Still engaging against superior numbers here of Volks Grenadiers. They will eventually lose, but I'm assuming Icemanjoker is not going to just leave them there to die. Over on the right-hand side, rifles are moving forward. They're going to get assaulted here by the Storm Pyos. The Storm Pyos closing a little bit of the distance, getting themselves into some heavy cover, deciding to instead just stop a little bit short and not pursue the rifles. They do, of course, have the support of the rear echelon squad in that zone, so it is, you know, okay for the Storm Pyos to not actually go that aggressively. Over on the left-hand side, the rifles still hold it up inside that shack, down to 2 men now. They will be needing to evacuate relatively soon. Back at base, we do have the rifle squad reinforcing only now, but we also see the lieutenant coming into play for Mr. Icemanjoker. The rifles in that shack, down to 2 men, still getting shot at by 3 Volks Grenadier squads at the same time, although the one here in the back is not actually firing back, so they're actually allowing it to stay there a little bit longer than it probably should against 3 squads. Rifle squad does pop out of the house and is currently retreating, makes it out of there, and the Storm Pyos over on the center of the map are engaging the rifles at long range. They are set themselves in some heavy cover, so they'll be able to win that engagement, even though it's going to take a while. Rear echelons coming on behind. They're going to get the strategic point, while the Storm Pyos decide to disengage and move themselves into the victory point. They realize that the rifles are trying to close the distance, move themselves back into the cover, and force the rifles to just backpedal. From out of the base through the center, 2nd Rifle Squad is going to be coming up and getting a flank on the Storm Pyos. They are managing to get an angle there and a lot of damage. Storm Pyos deciding, you know what, I am unsupported. I am good, but I'm not that good, and I'm going to instead retreat. Lieutenant now on the field for Icemanjoker, currently pushing into the center, not going to be fighting anything, but behind it we do see the utility car getting produced. Going to be hitting the field in a little bit. We do see, of course, the battle group headquarters has gone down for Itaperuna, getting himself the quite controversial weapon, the infantry support gun, the Leig, L-E-I-G. But anyways, oh, interesting. We see Itaperuna going right now for the Shrek. A good decision, even though he didn't exactly see the utility car. It's, you know, it's a decent timing, although, you know, if it hadn't come on, it would have been a waste, but still. So the utility car now online, going to be harassing the Volks rifles over here on the left-hand side, taking quite a beating as the Volks Grenadiers were put inside this house. However, the Volks are now unsupported and cut off. Even if they pop out of the house, they have a very long retreat path behind them, and they have a lot of enemies to run through. So it looks to me like that Volks Grenadier squad in the north is going to get itself killed. Infantry support gun is taking some good shots there at the lieutenant, trying to see if he can dislodge it from there and allow the Volks Grenadier squad to attempt to retreat. They are going to go for it. They're going to retreat, but can they make it out of there? It seems unlikely. The infantry support gun managing to get a good shot on the lieutenant, getting it suppressed, but with the utility car there and the lieutenant still capable of shooting, that Volks Grenadier squad is not going to make it out of there, and down it goes to the 50 cal on top of the utility car. So a nice pickup there for Icemanjoker. Shrek flies, gets a good hit on the utility car, but it is only one Shrek, and it is unfortunately not enough to get the kill on the utility car. Do we see any additional Shreks? No, the Volks Grenadier squad over here does not get a Shrek. Rocket and Warfare is getting produced there for Mr. Itaperuna, as he does want to have something on the field to fight that utility car, aside from, of course, the Shrek. And having lost the other Volks Grenadier squad, I mean, he's going to lose a lot of anti-infantry potential by getting another Shrek. Crew popping out in the center, going to be repairing that utility car. The ambulance has been requisitioned for Icemanjoker. I'm assuming, though, he's probably just going to leave it back at base, just for the heals. Not going to be using it aggressively on the field. Storm Piles, though, do go for a nice move over here on the left-hand side, closing the distance, forcing the retreat of a rifle squad. However, two more rifle squads are coming on top of it. With the utility car behind, the Storm Pile squad needs to retreat, and retreat now, otherwise it's going to get torn apart. Still sitting there, still trying to get some damage in there, down to 2 men, forces the retreat. Still, you know, still a good retreat. Gonna make it out of there just fine. Shrek's flying in the wrong direction as it's trying to hit the rifles. Utility car moves up in that cooldown period between Shrek shots and is going to be able to get a good amount of damage on the Volks Grenadier squad. It does retreat, it makes it out of there. And we see that Itaperuna has actually expended the resources to make this the retreat location. Don't particularly like that just yet, but I guess it works. He does have to be mindful of this strategic point. Itaperuna has selected his doctrine as well, and that is the Scavenge Doctrine, with which he has called in a Jaeger Light Infantry squad, which is currently up in the northern, well, not northern, but center victory point, really. Utility car, though, feeling very bold, very very confident, going to be chasing down a little bit on the Jaeger Light Infantries, since they really can't do much, and they do get forced to retreat, I mean. Rocket and Warfare going to be moving up, seeing if it can potentially catch the utility car. It should be able to catch it. It is getting shot at right now. Can it actually get a shot off on it, however? No. Looks like the utility car quickly moves out of the way. Rocket and Warfare putting itself in supreme harm's way. Quickly hitting Cloak and trying to hide itself. Getting revealed there by the Lieutenant. Get forced to retreat. Volks Grenadier squad getting in the way. Going to be trying to stop the Lieutenant. Grenade does fly. Incendiary Grenade, of course, is going to be doing a lot of damage as the Lieutenant stands there. And he does, taking quite a bit of punishment. Down to 1 man. Going to be forced to retreat, but that 1 man is sitting outside of the flames, so it'll be fine. Volks Grenadier squad retreating. No more anti-vehicle capacity, I suppose. The Jaeger Light Infantry are not the ones that have FAUs. Those are the Fallschirmjägers. So these guys, I mean, they're good against infantry, but they're not good against the utility car. And wow, the utility car doing an amazing push there as it actually forces the troops to run very quickly and get themselves on the other side of the wall, which actually puts them in a very, very bad spot. And it forces a retreat of both, of course. Volks Grenadier squads with their Shrek going to be pushing forward, getting some damage there on the utility car. Utility car is going to be quite fine. There's really no reason why it should die at this in this type of situation. The infantry support gun trying to get some shots in there is trying to dislodge the rifles from inside the shack. Should be able to do so with time. We see the forest over here catching a blaze to the incendiary grenade. It's going to be kind of hot. And, yeah, back at base, yeah, we see the ambulance just set up there as, you know, reinforcement, or well, more of a healing radius more than anything. But we do see the captain coming into play now for icemanjoker, and following up behind that is a pack howitzer. Rifles and Volksgrenadiers engaging on the left-hand side victory point, as they do have that sandbag set up. They're managing to withstand quite a bit as the infantry support gun takes a shot, misses completely, and the rifles are sitting quite pretty. Rifle squad, one new rifle squad, hold up inside the house, going to be taking some shots there to the infantry support gun. The damage is significant, but it's, you know, going to take a while. Incendiary grenade does fly, sets the house ablaze where all the rifles were. However, the rifles pop out of the house and they don't actually take any damage to the flames. Prolonged engagement here on the left-hand side. The utility car still there. The Raketen Wolf moving up. Can it actually get a combo shot going with the Volksgrenadiers? No, it looks like the utility car is going to be moving back, and it's going to make it out of there without taking any additional damage. Over on the left-hand side, we see Itaperuna taking up, getting himself the Schwerpanzer headquarters, setting it up in a very nice angle that's going to cover his strategic point, the cutoff point, and the, well, I mean, I guess the munitions, and of course the fuel behind it. Doesn't have enough range for the victory point, which is unfortunate, but I suppose it's fine. It's in a little bit of a more defensive position, even though it doesn't have anything covering it. It is a little bit further back, forcing your opponent to push forward, whereas if it was placed around here, where it would still cover this point and this point, it allows this to maybe be set up as a, you know, a position that can attack you a little bit more easily. But either way, we'll see how it affects. Anyways, pack howitzer getting some good shots into the shack as the Jaeger light infantry are holed up inside, trying to fight against a lot of infantry. That's rifles, rear echelons, the lieutenant, everything in there. They decide, you know what, I don't think we can take these guys. I mean, we're good, but I don't think we can take them, and they end up retreating. Over on the right-hand side, the utility car still doing what it can. It is laying down some mines that is potentially dangerous for itself there, as the Volksgrenadiers with their Shreks were moving in that direction. Obviously, icemanjoker didn't know that, but had they actually taken a shot at it, it could potentially detonated the mine and killed, you know, one shot the utility car, depending on where it hit. You know, could have missed, but it was unlikely, and of course, it didn't actually happen, so there's not really that big a deal. Rifles coming up behind the Volksgrenadier squad's going to see if they can, well, if they can win. With the support, of course, of the utility car, they are going to. The Shrek flies at the rifle, killing it, you know, doing a good job. But, of course, now the utility car takes that window of opportunity and gets itself right on top of the Volksgren squad and forces it to retreat. Over on the left-hand side, we see a big push by the lieutenant and rifles. Infantry support gun getting some good hits on the rifle squad on the left-hand side, forcing it to retreat. The lieutenant right on top of the storm piles. Storm pile quads gets annihilated on the retreat with the support of the pack howitzer and, of course, the superior anti-infantry firepower of the lieutenant. And away they go. Lieutenant retreats, rifles retreat, but they all make it out of there, and that is pretty good. Lux now on the field for Itaperuna. That is going to be doing a lot of damage here. There isn't really much on the field that icemanjoker can do or use to stop it. I mean, really the only thing he has is the bazooka right now from the, well, the bazooka from the utility car and the bazookas from the captain. Those are the only things that can do anything. But of course, icemanjoker, knowing that, is getting himself a AT gun. Lux tank managing to dislodge the pack howitzer crew. We have a fighting position set up here. It looks like no. Well, no. Okay. It looked for a second though like as if Itaperuna wanted to go for the steal of the pack howitzer with the Jaeger light infantry. However, he doesn't actually go for that. He goes just a cap. And we see icemanjoker doing a brilliant move here, and that is popping out the vehicle crew and sending the captain in. So that is 3 bazookas against the Lux, which can, you know, take it out relatively quickly. It has taken some damage. It's down to about half health, but they do not manage to lock it down and get him. So the Lux forces the retreat of a rifle squad. Jaeger light infantry trying to push forward. They get themselves suppressed. However, the fighting position that was set up in the center of the map for icemanjoker, defending the center victory point, does get taken down by both the Lux and the infantry support gun from afar. There it is. Or was that the Raketen Warfare? It might have been the Raketen Warfare. Where is it? No, it's over here. No, it was the infantry support gun. I mean, I can probably just look at it and see if it has a building. Well, it doesn't say it. Maybe this guy? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the Lux actually got the killing blow, but we saw an artillery shot land on it and do a little bit of extra damage, right? So the pack howitzer has not been recovered for Icemanjoker. He's currently pushing forward with all it's got. Incendiary grenade does fly and gets the wall set ablaze. Lieutenant having to move itself out of the way. Rifles, captain managing to hold a line against the Volksgrenadiers. They're forced to retreat, and the Jaeger light infantry, and they're forced to retreat, and the Volksgrenadiers by themselves are unable to do too much, and away they go. Pack howitzer does get recovered by Icemanjoker. Itaperuna missing a little bit of an opportunity there. He could have at least tried to attack it with the Lux and see if he could have destroyed the weapon before he was forced to retreat. It looked iffy. You know, the time frame that he had there wasn't really that great, so it may have only damaged it and not actually got the kill. But you know, sometimes you at least have to try, right? Anyways, houses over here in this little town get themselves obliterated. There's only one shack left on the far left. The Lux over here on the left-hand side has suffered damage to its engine. So it seems to me like it's going to die, as we do have the 57mm anti-tank gun moving forward, trying to catch it on its retreat path. The tank itself has engine damage and is unable to really move very well. It was also, you know, shit out of luck there. It does go down eventually. Ooh. Assault grenades, even though they're called infiltration grenades, get tossed there at the captain, but the captain doesn't really take too much damage. We do see Itaperuna calling in the Ostwind, the Flakpanzer, managing to force the retreat of the troops over on the left-hand side. The Ostwind, quite an excellent choice in this situation. There is pretty much infantry and only infantry for Icemanjoker. There is that utility car still somewhere. Where is it? It's currently in the center right here. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, the Flak Panzer could just eat that thing alive. And, ooh, we also see Mr. Itaperuna going for the 251-20 half-track, the infrared searchlights. Very nice, very nice. Again, we don't see that often. So that allows the infantry support gun to do quite a bit of work through the fog of war. So yeah, and it of course also gives you, you know, advanced warning and such. Again, it's one of those units that we don't see that often, which is kind of sad. I mean, obviously, if it had more functionality, we would see it more often, but you know, if it was like a half-track and had the ability to reinforce, it would probably be a little bit too strong, and we would see it all the time. So it is understandable, of course. I would at least like it to have some type of ability. That might be munitions based, of course, you know, so that it has something else. But, anyways. So yeah, you can see the infantry support gun taking some shots into the fray. Not necessarily because of the thing, but, you know, it helps. Infantry pushing over from the left-hand side. Jaeger light infantry retreating. Huh. How did they remove that? Or maybe they just removed it to some specific unit? But I thought they removed the ability to camouflage while retreating through cover. Like, once your units hit retreat, they don't camo. But I guess not, because we're seeing it there and it's still happening. Volksgrenadiers up in the north, forced to retreat as the utility car is trying to chase it down. They're too healthy there, not going to be able to take him down. Could potentially take one man down more, but it looks like they're all going to be fine. Bracket the Wolf pushing forward. The Flak Panzer taking some heavy damage here to the bazookas. Gets itself almost killed here, down to very low amounts of health. Needs to go back and repair. And it looks like that is exactly what it's going to do. Bracket the Wolf pushing forward, trying to be sneaky. Managing to only put itself in a pile of shit there and forced to retreat. But it does get out of there just fine. We do have a major on the field for Icemanjoker, so he has the potential to tech. He did go for the rifle company, which is interesting that he didn't go for it earlier, considering that, of course, that gives you the access to the elite rifleman training. But maybe he didn't want Itaperuna to know what his teching path is, or was going to be, and just simply decide to get it later for the Easy 8s. I don't know. It's a weird... it's a weird decision, I suppose. But, wow, look at that guy. That's so bad. Look at how he shoots. That is, of course, the proper grip for the U.S. forces. Volksgrenadiers on the left, a lot of rifles retreating, the utility car still being a nuisance, now having acquired veterancy too. Jaeger light infantry trying as best they can to fight against the rifles, the infantry support gun being the big hitter here, they're getting some good hits in there. Veterancy 2 acquired, so it increases the crew's mobility and ability to avoid incoming fire. Interesting. And it increases weapon range at Veterancy 1, so there you go. I'm still used to the old Wehrmacht and Soviet teching system where Veterancy 1 didn't actually boost anything, it was just an ability. So it's interesting to see that the infantry support gun doesn't get an ability, it just gets more range. Which, of course, a lot of people are going to say, really, you still want to give it an extra ability? It's already so good. Anyways, we do see icemanjoker is going to be building himself that EC8. Manages to, looks like, catch something on the retreats. I mean, well, whatever it was, the lieutenant and the captain have died, so let's make a note of that and make sure we already saw that. So they both died before the 21-minute mark, so we'll see who dies where. Pack howitzer taking some damage here, being I mean, the pack howitzer getting cleared out as the flak panzer is taking some damage. EC8 moving in, going to be getting some good shots there on the Ostwind. The Ostwind should probably die at this stage. I don't think there's much that can be done to save it. Shreks are flying at the EC8, but yeah, I mean, the Raketenwerfer would have needed to be already up here and more supported than, you know, these guys. So the Ostwind goes down for Itaperuna. And the rifles over here on the left-hand side forced to retreat down to one man as they were fighting the Storm Pios. The Storm Pio squad has 3 men. Oh yeah, well, of course, we saw the other Storm Pios die before over here in this path right here. They actually died to the lieutenant, so I don't need to say that. We saw it. So yeah, Storm Pios engaging rifles. Oh, rifles taking a nasty shot there by the infantry support gun. Getting pinned down and, well... Getting pinned down in front of Storm Piles, not a good thing for anybody. Utility car forced to retreat as we saw a mine, a shoe mine, getting placed there for Itaperuna. Doesn't look like he's going to cancel it. Shots continue to hit there on the utility car. EC8 over on the right-hand side, going to be engaging the Jaeger Light Infantry. The Jaeger Light Infantry can't really do much against them, but, you know, they're going to sit there for a little while and take the damage. Infrared sensor still trying to do as best as can to provide any intelligence, but right now, oh, that was a nasty grenade. Oh, the Shrek got dropped. Can the Volksgrenadiers go steal it, or is it going to be the rifles? It's going to be the rifles. Oh, the rifles go for the steal. icemanjoker catching himself a nice little present there for his veterancy 3 rifle squad in the form of a Shrek. And the Volksgrens just look down in sadness as they allowed something like that to happen. Jaeger Light Infantry over from the right-hand side looked like they retreated down to 1 man. They made it out. The half-track is getting repaired as it took some damage, but, you know, it's fine. The Volksgrens and rifles are engaging over here on the left-hand side. We see icemanjoker now starting to call in those veteran rifles, or the elite rifleman training, which will, of course, I mean, it's also fine at this later stage because that kind of makes it a little bit more easy to deal with losses since you don't have to regain a lot of veterancy. You already have some veterancy, but still, you know, it also goes a long way in the early game, so it can go both ways. Anyways, rifles going to the left-hand side. Victory points are 332 to 276. I mean, a pretty even game right now. It's in the favor for icemanjoker. The rifles on the left-hand side retreating as the Storm Pios and Jaeger Light Infantry pursue. Oh, nasty hit there by the pack howitzer, almost taking out the Storm Pio squad down to a sliver of health. The mine itself getting detonated. The mine over here, I don't know if it got canceled, detonated, or it finished building and hit something, but it's not there anymore. Rifles trying to go for the victory point. The Jaeger Light Infantry getting on top of the point, not allowing them to decap. They move themselves out of the way. They're currently cloaked, but they're taking fire damage. And the infantry support gun gets a nice hit there, and down goes the rifle squad, as it probably should. Itaperuna, let's go ahead and build a Panzer IV. Gonna be duking it out here with the Oh, that's a grenade. Oh, grenade goes off at the rifles. Down goes the Jaeger light infantry. And infiltration grenades fly at the rifles, but they're very low damage individually. You have to kind of catch it in a nice angle and blow them all. And yeah, the rifles stay alive. More infantry support guns getting produced for Itaperuna. He knows that those are the keys to victory with the OKW. Panzer IV backing off. What the hell is the rocket warfare anyway? So, rocket warfare trying to sneak forward. I mean, sneaking forward is a nice idea. You know, sometimes you can get that good ambush, but a lot of times maybe you just want to move it quickly and get it where it needs to be so that it can help out against the engagement. And it could have done a lot here against the Easy 8 when the Panzer IV was engaging. Panzer IV, though, is getting repairs, so it's going to be quite fine. Rear Echelon Squad has a bazooka in hand. Did he research? No, not that I can tell. They're supposed to have a little thing there, right? So we look at command. No, not this one. No, this one. No. Oh, interesting. I didn't know you could get these from both. Oh, there it goes. That's kind of weird. Anyways, yeah, he would have to get the weapon rack to do so. So I'm assuming the rear echelon squad picked it up from the either the vehicle crew or the captain, which doesn't exactly matter really, but you know. Those are the squads that I'm gonna have to double check them on to see when they died. Panzer IV covering the left-hand side catches the rear echelon squad, forcing it to retreat relatively quickly. Itaperuna going to be building himself some Obersoldaten to bolster his forces. It's a very good idea considering that he needs some stronger infantry. Incendiary grenade flies at those rifles. Rifles taking quite a bit of damage to the flames. However, they managed to move out of the way without taking too much damage. Rifle grenade flies at the Panzer IV over on the left-hand side, managing to inflict engine damage. The Panzer IV trying as best it can to fight against the EC8. Raketenwerfer also trying as best it can to support, but being actually pretty bad at it. Not even turning itself around to try to phase the EC8. The EC8 having taken minimal damage. It's, well, I mean, it's not minimal, but less than half damage. The Raketenwerfer retreats. Itaperuna loses his Panzer IV. That might actually be the turning point there. Although, I mean, icemanjoker is currently in the lead, so I suppose it's not a turning point, but but that could be the deciding engagement here in this fight. Itaperuna does have fuel though, so he can, you know, acquire another tank. But right now, icemanjoker, having defeated the Osman, having defeated the Panzer IV, is getting himself a second EC8, and with that, he should be able to deal with almost anything that Itaperuna can throw at him. I mean, if Itaperuna had been going, you know, getting his other tech and going for maybe the King Tiger thing, whatever that is called, the Konix Tiger, that might be a different situation, but as it stands, I don't think that it's going to happen. So the EC8, second EC8 now on the field, going to be pushing forward, getting on top of the storm piles. The storm piles trying to lay down some mines, going to be forced to retreat. One of them getting caught in the threads there and kind of getting cut off from its squad. The mine does get left there as Itaperuna is not currently canceling it. Volks Grenadiers retreating, the half-track spotting, and it manages to spot the Major moving around. And shots hitting the EZ-8. Left-hand side, Jaeger Light Infantry pushing forward. We see that a, what's it called, a booby trap? Yeah, there it goes, the booby trap capture point has been placed on the victory point on the left-hand side. The victory point on the right-hand side is currently in possession for Itaperuna. So that is, well, good for him. 274 to 240. I mean, pretty much a 30-point game, so it's not really anybody's game just yet. Like I said, I mean, I think it's more of a situation of who has taken the bigger losses. icemanjoker has suffered some losses in units, but really just rifles. The utility car did go down, but I think I missed that, didn't I? Well, I'll double check, but I think I did. Otherwise, you still probably saw it anyway, so I'm on top of that. I'm on all that. I'm going to make sure that I don't miss as little as I can. I'm not going to say that I don't miss anything, because I'm pretty sure I still miss a lot of things in the games, but going through, getting those extra viewpoints and things that happen, I think they go a long way. Anyways, rifles on the left-hand side trying to push forward. Over Soldaten, not going to be allowing them to do so. With the support of the infantry support gun, they're also going to be winning that engagement. Pin down goes down on the rifles, forcing them to retreat, taking another loss in the retreat, but they make it out. Raketenwerfer pushes forward, the EZ-8 returning fire and getting a good hit. Shot does fly, managing to do some damage. But the Raketenwerfer, well, it's the Raketenwerfer, you know, it's not the best AT gun available there. Volksgrenadiers over on the right-hand side, on top of the victory point, not wanting to give up. They managed to cap the point, but they get themselves eliminated, which, you know, ultimately wasn't really worth it. Itaperuna could have done with letting the point go, suffering a little bit more bleed, but keeping himself in a stronger position. But as it stands, Itaperuna no longer has any Volksgrens, and yeah, I mean, no Shreks. Very small amounts of anti-infantry firepower. I mean, he does have 2 Raketenwerfers and 2 infantry support guns, which are great, but those are great supporting a large army, a large lot of troops. And I mean, the half-track here, as much intel as it is getting him and allowing him to know the movements of the enemy, I mean, not really gonna do too much if you can't actually capitalize on knowing what your enemy is doing and killing him. I mean, really, the infantry support gun is the only thing that can benefit from that. As we can see here, it manages to get some shots off at range and potentially maybe kill the rifles as they get spotted there. They're gonna get spotted again. The infantry support guns can throw the volleys, but yeah, I mean, it's not a winning position. Itaperuna though does go for the Panther. Yeah, he's gonna go for the Panther, trying to see if with the Panther he can turn it around, kill those EC-8s, and put himself a little bit better in a little bit of a better position. But I don't know. I don't know if he can. There's still a lot of infantry on the field for icemanjoker, and he does of course have the capability of getting those veteran rifles. Itaperuna could do with getting more Jaeger light infantry, but he doesn't have the manpower right now for that. Raketenwerfer and the Jaeger light infantry on the right hand side retreating. Oh, the Raketenwerfer going through a horrible angle, getting itself cleared out and now left on the field. Icemanjoker is going to go for the steal, gets himself his own Raketenwerfer to add to his... Actually, no, he already lost the AT gun. It's wreckage is right there. You can see it still spattered. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah, he gets himself his own Raketenwerfer, which means that the Panther is now in a very bad spot. Also, on top of that, add the Shrek that got stolen, and the bazooka that is still there on the field and didn't get, you know, removed. So it's a difficult position. Mine, we saw this mine getting laid down long ago by the, oh, that's an immobilization. Nope. Well, if the last kill on the Panzer IV was in game, this is definitely game. But yeah, we saw that mine getting laid down by utility car a long time ago. Only now taking into effect. EZ-8 can just simply attack ground and knows where the Panzer IV is. So I'm not sure what Icemanjoker is doing. He is leaving the other EZ-8 there to fight it and potentially kill it off, which he manages to do. So, you know, it's fine. Nothing too much happened. But this one that was over here, remember, you can always just tell it to attack ground and it's actually going to go through objects. So you do that and you actually land a chance of getting a hit and getting a kill. We've seen it done before multiple times, so keep that in mind when you're utilizing your weapons, AT guns and such. So EZ-8 moves up, catches the half-track as it's just sitting there. Searchlight gets destroyed, and with another shot it'll go down. And yeah, I mean, that's game. Not sure if Itaperuna is gonna try and do anything else, but I mean, Raketenwerfer is moving in that direction. Cloaked. I'm actually gonna speed it up a little bit. I don't think we need to be looking at this where nothing is happening. I'm gonna do it only at 2 times speed. You know, not gonna go too aggressively, but over on the right-hand side, we see more things dying as the Jaeger light infantry gets itself eliminated. Point getting capped. Jaeger light infantry popping out of this check. Gonna be engaging here. Slow it down a little bit. See the engagement, how it goes. Jaeger light infantry gonna be losing against all this. Obersoldaten winning the engagement against the rear echelons. And on the right-hand side or the center of the map, the major is going ham, going straight for the point. Well, not the point, but you know, straight through the center, past the point. Yeah, your light infantry on the left-hand side gets itself eliminated as well, as no retreat is ever issued. Well, but it's not retreating, as they themselves don't want to die. Storm piles trying to stop the approaching rifles. Not going to have too much luck doing that by themselves. Infantry support guns, though, are taking some shots into the north. Looks like they're trying to counter fire against the pack howitzer, which is kind of the lamest thing they can do. I mean, if you have lines, you know, like, oh, your opponent can't cross his line and you can't cross his line, and everybody's shooting at each other, yeah, I mean, just counter barraging an AT gun seems fine, but by itself. Anyways, Easy 8 pushes a little bit too far forward, gets itself annihilated there, as the Schwertpanzer headquarters and the Raketenwerfer managed to do quite a bit of damage. However, in the aftermath of that, we see the flamethrowers and the call-in of a white phosphorus barrage on top of this, clearing out both infantry support guns and the Raketenwerfer. The EC8 still wanting to make sure that it goes fine. Gets himself the kill on that. Well played, nice game. GG, well played by both, and the game comes to a close. Very nice, very nice. So Itaperuna knowing that, yeah, obviously the game is over at this stage. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.